Good afternoon. This is Melissa with the StockSwoosh.com and welcome. Welcome to a market video of the QQQs. Today is Wednesday, May 29th. I usually do videos at the end of the business day or on the weekends. It's nice to look at everything clearly when the market is finished trading for the day. But I thought I'd pop on and do this video right now because I'm sitting here seeing the market doing exactly what I said it was going to do this morning. I called that the market would flip over the high of the day. I absolutely called this in my trading room this morning, and it's doing it. And I don't even know why I'm surprised, because I've been calling this market so well, and yet I'm a little surprised because, just seriously, really, this market is strong. This market is absolutely, absolutely strong. So let's just go over what exactly happened here today. The market gapped down this morning, and when I saw the market gapping down this morning, okay, I said this is gonna hold. Now that's how I looked at it this morning. Then we were right before the close, and we were right around here, and I said, wait a minute, I think there's a possibility we could trade up first, then come down, and actually red on the day and come down into $73. That's what I was looking for, us to come down to 73, which, by the way, we didn't make it down there. So I was anticipating us actually closing red today and retesting 73 where we were opening. And this morning early, when I looked at it, I thought we'd gap down immediately and rallied, but then we had lifted up since the pre-market gap down. So we did trade down first. And I was giving the market to 73 to come into 73 or 72.76, which we didn't even get down to. So what we did was retested an area, which we held exactly to the penny, by the way, beautifully. So we didn't even get down to 73, which just proves my overall bias here, how strong we are. And we're going to get up tomorrow. I feel very strong conviction we're going to gap up tomorrow and follow on through here, or wiggle and jiggle. Okay, so until we get over 75, we may wiggle and jiggle in this range. What's the range? 75, 73, 75 and 73. And the range could even extend down to 72, but I don't think we're breaking this gap. This gap is going to hold here. This gap is going to hold at 72. The only way this gap isn't going to hold is if we gap down underneath it. Now, I'm not saying we're not going to do that, but I don't think it has high odds of happening. I think what's going to happen is we're going to trade in this tight range here from 75 or 73 or 75 to 72. Actually, it's not that tight of range. I mean, really, if you look at the way the market's traded in January, February, March, the ranges that we traded in that area, gosh, we were trading at $1 range. So even a trade within a $2 range is a lot bigger room to wiggle and jiggle than we did earlier this year, okay? And we were due for some kind of pull in anyways. I thought the big, stretchy green bar would happen and then we'd pull in. But it actually happened on the trading day here on the 22nd. And then we collapsed on the minutes announcement. And then we gapped down, and I said we would hold. And then we held in here on Friday. We gapped up into a buy setup, which I read we'd do too. And we traded red on the day. Is that a big deal? No, not necessarily. It was a day after a holiday and a Tuesday. Didn't really have any energy to go higher. No reason to think we were going to, but we did gap up into the buy setup. And then this morning when we gapped down, I was a little surprised because I said, gosh, I didn't think we'd gap down today. And I said, this is really going to be a tricky day to trade. And I was right, by the way, because the gap down then had the appearance of being bearish. It was starting to appear to be bearish, and yet I still felt that we were not bearish, that we are bullish, okay? And we are bullish. But I said this is going to give people the inkling today that we're bearish after this and the gap down and this red bar here and then another gap down. People are going to think that we're coming in harder, but I said that I don't think we are, and we're not. So I said this is going to be a tricky day to trade, and I'm sure this was a tricky day to trade for people. I did one thing today. Of course, there's many days I only do one thing, but if you over traded today as a trader, you got chopped up to bits and pieces. Okay, you get chopped up to bits and pieces. We very well could have broken over the high here at 10 o'clock. We didn't do it. We held. And because we held, it appeared that we were going to hell, except when we fell in here and broke under the low of the day and everyone was thinking we're going to continue, All we did was come into a support, and it was an exact number. Here it is over here. You can see it. Look. That's it. So as soon as we did that, I said, there it is. That's it. Boop. I said, that's it. That's the low of the day. And it was at 11 o'clock. And then after that, I said, we're going to fake out like we're going to do a 15-minute sell setup and not follow through. I thought it would happen here. As it turns out, it happened here. And it did have a little follow through, but not much. Not much at all. Just came in and retested this area of support in here. And then when this started trading up, I said we're going to fake like we're going to go lower, but we're not. We're going to flip over the high of the day and go green, and we are. And we could rally up to, let's see, what time is it? 2 o'clock. 73.80-ish, 74-ish. We're not going to get over 74, I don't think, this afternoon. 2 hours left in the trading day. We're going to run up to here. We'll probably close somewhere between here and here. But we're going to close today with a bottom and tail and a green body. And then we're going to gap up tomorrow. That's what I see happening here. So still very, very beautiful bullish chart. There's only one thing that's going on here, though. That 75 area is a biggie, and we didn't get over it yet. So will we do that in the next week? Well, maybe. But if we don't do it soon meaning in this follow through that's going to happen tomorrow when we gap up through, and the support that's holding right here, if we don't do it soon, like in the next week, we could bat around in this whole area for June. Like we could literally be in this whole area of the month of June sideways. And it's going to be very tricky for people to, if they're looking for the market to take their trades, it's going to be tricky and challenging. I don't do that. I watch the market all the time because I want to get a feel for what the market's doing. And I look for the market for lots and lots of reasons with my gaps. But I take my gaps based on the gap. My strategy is a gap, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the market. So, you know, that's the wonderful thing about doing gaps, actually, is they work independently 100% without the market. Now, the market can help them sometimes go into fuller, bigger targets. But I don't really need that. You know, I don't really need that. And so just looking at everything here, there's a chance that we could be really sloppy sideways this month of June coming up. It's just, you know, we may have a hard time getting over that 75. I do think we do it, though. And I think we do it this summer. And it's really not that far away. It's a $1.40. We could do it in an instant if we want to. So we'll have to see how we act. When we try to get up over this area here, we'll have to see how we act. But there is a chance that the market could go back up here and retest 74.95, retest this before it breaks it. And when that happens, if that happens, and it does not break over it, the second it boops down on it and retests it, if it doesn't break it, people are going to think that's a double top or a top and then want to go short the market. And it will cause all kinds of confusion in here, batting around. But the market's still bullish, and I do think it breaks it and would then break it after the fact. So there's lots of ways this could set up. I mean, there's a million different scenarios that can go on here. But for now, today, the only thing that matters is that we're holding. We're going to hold and close with a green head today with a bottom and tail. I saw it this morning. It's one of these things where I say something, and it seems like it doesn't make any sense what I say, and yet I see that it's going to do it. And that's exactly what it did. I saw as soon as we held in here that the market would fake as a 15-minute sell setup and flip. And that's exactly what it did. This is exactly what it did. So anyways, we're going to close somewhere between here and 74 bucks into the close here. Got 2 hours left. And then tomorrow, gap up. Gap up and see where we go. I mean, it would be so beautiful and easy and sweet and just woo if the market would just rally up over here tomorrow and break over 75, and then it's clear sailing. But I don't know if that's going to happen tomorrow. And I'd be shocked if it did. I think we're going to bat around in here a little bit, or maybe retest this area before we break it. So either way, today was a tricky day for people to trade, and I saw that at 8 o'clock this morning. So, you know, it's one of these things where if you get in a groove and you're an experienced trader, you're really mature as far as trading goes, you can tell when the day is going to be sloppy. And today was kind of a sloppy day. Now, I had a nice trade in one thing, but it's the kind of thing where, you know, you could get many, many things in a day. And today just didn't give a million things. So you get one nice thing, boom, that's it. So this is the Qqq Market Review from the Stock Swoosh LLC. This is Melissa. If you have any questions about the market, if you'd like more information, on the classes that I teach on gaps, please feel free to reach out to me at melissa@thestockswoosh.com. This is the market. It's bullish, and you can't get tripped up by one red bar or one failed buy setup. This really wasn't a fantastic buy setup. The way that it gapped up into it, it would have been nicer if it had traded nicely up into it. So when this actually happened and triggered yesterday, which I knew that it would trigger yesterday, the way that it triggered up into itself, it was kind of going to be hard for it to hold it there. This gap I did not think would hold, and it didn't hold. That's why we gapped under it today. This gap is going to hold. Okay, there's a difference. Definitely. So this is Melissa with thestockswoosh.com. Feel free to reach out to me and email me if you're interested in learning how to read the market, how to read and rate gaps. I teach a gap course, and I have a new class coming out the first week of June on how to read trends. And the market is this, everything that I'm talking about, everything I'm doing now, all of this is reading the trend that's happening here. We're doing it right now. Look at this, pushing up. You know, we could break over 74 today. Gosh, it's 209, and look where we're at. I'll have to see. So feel free to reach out to me, Melissa@thestockswoosh.com. Thanks, everyone, and have a great evening.